All right, I think we're live right now, man. So today we have the esteemed, often imitated, never duplicated MGTOW
Man,
Savior, and he's here to talk about this new idea that he has. It's called the Red Pill Lifestyle. So we're gonna go over all aspects of the Red Pill lifestyle, um, how he got started, how he's moving forward, and how it can really affect men's lives in a positive way. So, what's up, MGTOW Savior?
what's going on, my brother? Man, I appreciate the introduction, man. Really appreciate that.
Yeah. So what's going on with this red pill lifestyle? Like, how did you think up this idea?
Well, I came up with the idea because I started coming to some realizations. It came to me after the trip, the trip they was talking about with I don't know if you know Marcus Brown. I don't know if you know anything about him.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's right. Uh huh.
He went overseas. He went to the Dominican Republic, the Sasua, the Red Pill Retreat,
Hmm.
and I started having some realizations. I popped up an idea, and I started realizing a lot of things came to perspective. And I started realizing in America, and not just in America, but in Western society culture, men are have no rights here. Men have no independence. He have no identity. He have no respect. And I was thinking to myself, I was like, since men in America have no respect and he have no identity, and you go into a different country where men are respected, where men are treated with respect because women have no choice but to treat them with that because of the laws. Men have to understand one thing: the best thing to do is to leave America and create your own independence. Because if you don't leave America, you will never be respected. You will be always treated like a boy, never treated like a man, and you will never have any kind of leadership within society. Not the way the system is. How can a woman respect you when you have no rights?
Yeah, I'd have to agree with that. I mean, okay, so you, Marcus Brown, you had the red pill retreat. That got you started on this new idea. So after you had the idea of the red pill lifestyle, what'd you end up doing after that?
Well, I got a couple of brothers. We came together. I just wasn't the only one with this. A couple of us came together and we came to a
Okay.
conclusion, as I told you, that men need to get their independence back. And so we came with the idea was the red pill lifestyle. If we red pill, what about showing the brothers around the world a lifestyle, a new culture, a new way of thinking, a new idea for men, for them to live around the world, where they can travel around the world and go to places where they respect it, where they can get away from the world of feminism and go to a place where they can be more comfortable at. I remember a video you made, Experience Optimist. You talked about being in a place where men are respected. You was talking about there's a place in the world where men get the most love, where he get the
Yeah.
most respect at. And that video touched me a lot because it made me realize the reason why the America the way it is towards man is because everything is against him. He
Yeah.
cannot be himself. And
Yeah.
so for a man to go somewhere to see something that is different in America, it would be a life changing experience for that man.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
would change his life. And we wanted to do this thing for men because we believe that if we can grow as men and we can show other men around the world, men will start wanting to leave America. And once they get that experience from going overseas and going somewhere where he respected, then and only then he can start waking up to realizing, okay, I can't go back to America. I get more respect here. I'm around like-minded men that share the same ideas. It don't get no better than that.
Yeah, it doesn't get any better than that. I mean, okay, so when you had this idea with the other guys, how many other guys are involved in this thing?
It's about four other guys that's involved in the inner group. Um, all of them have a common mission, and our common goal is for the liberation of men in Western society,
Hmm.
and
And
that's the most important.
I understand you there. How'd you touch base with these guys?
Most of the guys that I touch base with, I have relationships with a lot of my subscribers. Um, as you know, I put my number on the link of most of all my videos.
Mm-hmm.
So I do a lot of therapy with a lot of brothers who's going through the red pill rage, who suffer from depression, suicide, and all of these brothers were in bad situations, man. Um, Recently, I just made a video called getting, over the red pill rage, overcoming the red pill rage, and that video got a lot of great response because a lot of men are suffering from the rage and a lot of anger. So for me, I want men to be able to understand. And with the brothers that came my way and how I got connected with a lot of these brothers, we all understood one thing, and that one thing was every man in the United States are suffering. And we came to a realization is that, okay, since we know men are suffering, we came up with the idea called Project Red Pill. Red Pill leaded up to the Red Pill lifestyle. So
Mm.
Project Red Pill was a project we came up with as a group of us as men to do something to change the world. We want to change the world of men. We understand in this society that the only man that's going to want to change is the man that's coming home to the red pill. We know that it's a lot of men that will push against us because a lot of men are against a lot of brothers. I call them the blue pill mindset men. They have one mindset, and that mindset is to go against all men that is going against gynocentrism, that's going against feminism.
I tend to agree with that. I mean, when it comes to the blue pill mindset, there's always a set of guys that are like, man, MGTOW Savior, why do you talk so much about women like that, and why are you trying to create this new system? I mean, it's. But okay, let's say there's a guy who's like, this red pill lifestyle, it sounds pretty cool, man. Like, what are the first stages to trying to get with you and set up this red pill lifestyle retreat of sorts?
Well, one of our first goals, we have a Patreon. Our Patreon, the great thing about what we're going to do is we have the first goal is to get to 400 men. The 400 men that we get a part of the Patreon, we're going to do our first annual Red Pill retreat.
Okay.
And the first annual Red Pill retreat, we also have a YouTube channel. So, as you know, we have a Red Pill Lifestyle YouTube channel. I kind of mentioned it to you a little bit earlier.
Mm-hmm.
We have a Red Pill travel agent. His name is Mike Lee, a great business owner, a millionaire within his own right. Good brother. He's gonna work with all of us. What he do is, as a travel agent, he help brothers get passports. He help brothers be able to travel at a cheaper rate. So the more people that we get that's on these traveling trips that we're gonna do on a month-to-month basis, we'll be able to do it at a cheaper rate.
Okay.
So when we hit our first goal of our 400 Patreons, we do our first annual Red Pill Lifestyle Retreat. And the first annual Red Pill Lifestyle Retreat will be viewed around the world through the Red Pill Lifestyle channel. I advise everybody. I got about 3,000 subs. I'm advising everybody, even on your channel too, man, to check out the Red Pill Lifestyle videos. We go over more and more things explaining what this is all about. And this is about changing. This is about revolution. And we all know revolution is change. We have to, in order to combat feminism, you have to, as a man, you have to leave America, because the only people who will change the laws is women. And the reason why I say this is because it's more women than men. And we have to understand that. And in order for women to change it, you have to take away their resources. And we all know that men are women resources. That's how they survive off men.
Yeah, I hear that. So let's say you wanted to go to the first red pill lifestyle retreat or something. What are some of the locations that you guys are looking at?
All right, that's a good question. The perfect thing about this is when we do our first annual Red Pill Lifestyle Retreat, we're going to do a vote. And the places we're going to choose is one of the places, I mean, of course, I want to do the Dominican Republic, Thailand, a couple of other places that I have in mind. But we're gonna do votes before we start going out and let brothers be able to choose. The majority may win. You know, the majority gonna win the vote. Whichever vote go and cast, we're gonna do that. Whatever vote that's gonna go towards whatever trip we do, that's how we're gonna go about the Red Pill Lifestyle Retreat trips, and that's gonna be on an every month basis. The bigger we get, we want to be able to start investing. We want to invest in real estate overseas, condos. So when brother be able to travel, he can go into these free condos that be able to get in. All the brothers from the Red Pill Lifestyle Retreats, they're gonna be able to go into those condos, those real estate investments that we want to invest in, because we all know it's cheaper to invest in real estate overseas. And I got an idea from that from Telemade Dreams, because he was investing a lot in real estate over there in the Dominican Republic.
Yeah, tell him Made Dreams, man. Shout out to him, man. Really cool guy. Really helped me out. But all right, so when you go over to let's say you guys pick Thailand, you go over to the retreat in Thailand. What will you guys be doing like on a day-to-day basis with the men, of course?
The greatest thing about this, man, this is about, you know, a lot of people say, well, we're gonna be enjoying women. Of course, if you have the option, but my big thing about this is camaraderie, man. Getting brothers away from America and seeing what it's like to go somewhere where you're not looked down upon, where people actually give you respect. When you look at women in America, they always so angry. They look down on a man. When a man try to have a simple conversation with a woman, she disrespects that man. There's no smiling faces. But if you go overseas, you get the respect you deserve from women. You don't have to approach a woman. She'll come to you to respect you because she understands the man rule overseas. They understand that man is the authority when you go into these third world countries where feminism is not affected in those countries. That's what matters to me. I think that most brothers, to be able to go overseas and see their favorite subscribers, be able to talk to other brothers that's like-minded, maybe going through things in their personal life, but being able to go overseas and be able to talk about your experiences, I think that's going to be the greatest gift to men, brother, around the world.
So what is it about male camaraderie that really excites you?
The greatest thing about male camaraderie, I'll give you an example. I have a brother recently. He's going through a lot of stuff in his life. He's really down, man, in his personal life. And I was able to lift him up. I was able to help him move forward. You know, he got a lot of things he want to do in his life. I told him he needs to just get past the stuff he's dealing with, because I didn't have that when I was going through my problems before I got to the red pill. So camaraderie helps men move forward in their life. Camaraderie builds men up when nobody else cares about that man. That's what camaraderie does for us as men. And that's why I love the MGTOW community, because camaraderie, what gets brothers motivated. Let me tell you something. I talk to about hundreds and hundreds of brothers through my channel. And one thing I could tell you is a lot of brothers I motivated to do their channel, and I didn't even know I did. A lot of brothers, man, they may write on my comments on my video like, man, you inspired me to make my channel. Thank you. You know, I didn't know that I inspired a lot of brothers to start YouTube channels. And that to me, man, I didn't even realize the work I was doing inherently. And I say it because I didn't even notice the work I was doing, man. I was just trying to help men, because when you love doing something, it don't become a job. It don't become a chore. This is my passion, man, helping men. My passion.
Yeah, you helped a lot of men, man. Like men suffering with depression, man. So you were talking about how you helped some men financially and stuff like that. I mean, it doesn't really take a lot to really help men. So when you're talking about this red pill lifestyle retreats and whatnot, where do you think this is going to go in the future? Are you going to try to do maybe 2 trips a year, 3 trips a year? Where do you see it going?
I believe in the future, we ain't going to be using the Patreon in the future. We're going to have enough real estate where we're going to be invested in ourselves within the red pill lifestyle that it's going to become independent. And men around the world will be leaving America. You know what I mean? And creating our own destinies. And the whole goal of the lifestyle is creating your own destiny as a man. Going overseas, buying property, getting land, creating our own reality, man. America is over in America. As long as the laws is the way it is in America, you will never get no respect. Me and you know it. Yep. You would never get no respect. I remember talking to you. You was talking about you finally retired, and now you're finna get away from the matrix. The
Oh
whole
yeah.
goal is pulling man out of her, the matrix, pulling man out of the birth of feminism. You must leave America, and that's what the red pill lifestyle is all about. Leaving America, and I believe economic power within unity amongst men will liberate the men in the Western society.
Yeah, I definitely agree. So if someone wants to support the Patreon, are you going to have tier levels? Or are you going to, how
I'm
are you going to
doing.
structure that? Yeah.
We came to a conclusion. We're not gonna do any tier levels. I see a lot of brothers. I don't want to talk bad about people because I'm all about unity and peace.
Hmm.
But we don't have any tier levels. We have one level, and that is you paying $10 a month. That's it, one time to be able to go overseas. That's it. When we get our 400 Patreons, from that point on a month to month basis, we will be selecting men because our first Patreons we're gonna be announcing, and we will be those first Patreons will be the first people on the trip, and we will continue to grow. The bigger we get, we'll be able to start sending 3 people when we first start off, to 6 people, to 8 people, to 10 people, to 20 people, to 30 people. The bigger we get, the more people we'll be able to send overseas on a month to month basis. And the great thing about this is, what I love about it is, with the traveling agent that we have, the Red Pill lifestyle traveling agent that we have, we're gonna be able to send more people on trips because it's gonna be cheaper.
Hmm.
The more people you go through his agency with, his travel agency with, the cheaper the rate's gonna be on the trips that we do. That's what I
Gotcha.
love about this.
Gotcha. So on the first trip, are you going to be heading out there?
Yeah, I might have to. It's gonna be. What we're gonna do is, as a group, um, come together and we're gonna decide who goes out there and do the promotion. As I know right now, I'm the face of the organization. But one thing I do know is that we're gonna come to a conclusion of which guy is gonna be going out there and pretty much promoting it. Maybe me and maybe another brother. We'll probably decide that once we get there, but we're gonna be promoting the whole trip through the Red Pill Lifestyle channel.
Gotcha. Gotcha. So do you have any ideas for the first destination? Like for
Um,
if you're gonna go out there with another guy, I'm thinking that you're probably gonna end up going to the DR. Am I wrong?
that's 9 times out of 10. I think that's what we're gonna be talking about doing for the first trip. The DR or either
Oh,
Thailand or Colombia, because I heard about Colombia. Pretty nice out there. I heard
yeah,
from
Colombia's
man
cool,
out there.
man. I've been there twice. It's actually a pretty cool place. Logistics wise, Dominican Republic is closer, so that's why a lot of people love going there, right? I think you're in the Midwest. I think there's actually like a flight that goes like straight there or something like that. I know New York they have like straight flights, but anyways, so yeah, so you're gonna set up this thing and go scout it out with you and another guy. So when you first scout out the first location or first or second location, what are you gonna do when you're down there?
I think most of all, what we will be doing is promoting it, man. Going out there to beaches, enjoying ourselves, exploring different cultures, man. Showing brothers what it is and what it's like to be out there on the everyday travels of traveling. So we can get more brothers to be, to want to be involved. I think that if you can show men that it's actually great out there for you to be out there
Mhm.
with different women, exploring different cultures, enjoying, and just enjoying different people out there, man, and getting the camaraderie and love that men don't get in the United States of America. I think that because from Marcus Brown experience, he talked about he never seen so much unity out there in the Dominican Republic, and I
You
want
know,
men to enjoy that.
sorry about that. I didn't mean to cut you off there. Sorry. You want me-
No, it's all right. Go ahead.
Oh no, it was funny because I went down there for that red pill retreat, and he's right. And we had this discussion, and we were talking about why men overseas, why it's easier for you guys to, why it's easier for men overseas to link up and actually work, collaborate, and work together. And he was saying that this one guy said it best. He said, when you're over there, you really don't have time for all the nonsense and trash talk and all that stuff because you're in a foreign land, so you basically have to depend on your fellow comrade or brother or whatever to get things done. And so it helps when you're actually overseas, having that camaraderie with other people. So I understand what you're talking about. So,
And
go ahead, go ahead.
I wanted to say something on that. The great thing about that is what you said. When you go out there, you'll be able to network with different men. So once you be able to network and build a networking base in these different countries, once you go out there, you will be able to have build relationships. You see what I'm talking about? And once you going overseas with more and more people, by you knowing other people, you be able to have, help brothers get there that's new, that's going to the red pill lifestyle, that's going overseas with the red pill retreats. You'll be able to, make it more comfortable for other men. And by having you a network basis, you can have them, develop better and more relationships with different men and make it more easier for that brother that's going out there for his experience to be even more better.
So far this sounds pretty interesting. I mean, you don't have to, because how some people they try to get you to spend like hundreds of thousands of dollars or something like this, but $10 a month on Patreon is not that bad at all. And if you get
No, no.
100 dudes, I mean, that's and you're going to like places like Thailand, Colombia, Costa Rica, places like that, man. It sounds really good. So, what's the timetable on something like this? When you were looking at doing your first trip?
Our timetable is based off the people. It's based off as many Patreons that we get. The first trip is the first goal is to get 400 Patreons, and once we can get that, we can immediately start our first trip, man, and build towards that, and help brothers around the world, man. That's it's called the fast track to 400 Patreons, the fast track to red pill freedom for men around the world to experience going overseas. Because I know it's a lot of men that may never be able to get that experience to go overseas. And also, I want to talk about this. Our Red Pill travel agent, Mike Lee,
Mm-hmm.
he is going to be helping brothers get passports. Because I know a lot of brothers probably don't have passports, and he will help you get it at a cheaper rate. That's another great thing about that as well. Um, that he's going to help brothers like regular brothers get a passport at a cheaper rate, man, so they can be
Well,
able to travel.
let me ask you about that. Why do you think there's so many men that don't have their passport?
I think it's a lot of men that don't have their passport because, to be honest with you, a lot of men don't really know about going overseas. It's kind
Mm.
of taboo. We kind of just getting out there about going overseas. For a lot of men, a lot of men are afraid to go overseas. Um, because the different stuff they talk about, different horror stories they talk about going over, so people becoming missing and all of that crazy stuff, and a lot of people afraid to go overseas, man. And I think going overseas for men will be the greatest thing for men because it's all about going to a place where men are respected. I know I say it all the time, but it's all about being in a place where you respected as a man, where you value, man. I think that's the biggest thing of all of this. Value, man. You have no value in the United States. A man's value is lower than a cockroach.
Yeah.
And that's what breaks my heart the most, man. The value of a man is zero. Zero value in the United States of, well, not just in the United States. Let me say Western culture, Western society,
Yeah.
where feminism at, where feminism is at, where women's freedom is at, women liberation. Men are not respected. Period.
Yeah.
Period.
I can tell. Basically, yeah, I can vouch for that, man. Like when you said going overseas, and it's a different world. When I started traveling and going overseas, I mean, just the things you can do, the new cultural experiences of going to waterfalls and meeting new people and
Man,
different types of food. It was really eye opening, man. And some of the best times I had, like you talked about male camaraderie, was it wasn't even chasing women and all that stuff when I went over there. I always met like a group of guys and we sat down, we started talking about each of our lives. And these were people from all different types of backgrounds. You had business owners, different races and all the other stuff. And it was funny to see like how these guys, man, like we all wanted to like help each other and pass on knowledge that would be helpful in life. So I definitely think that you are on the right track. So it's just 400 members, huh? So
400 members.
members get the 400 members, and then once you get the 400 members, then the people are going to vote to see which place they want to go to. You're probably going to start off small with you and another guy, go out, scout an area, send videos back, and then take it from there. It sounds like it's a pretty exciting endeavor, to be honest.
And I'm gonna tell you something. The reason why we set it up at a board of directors, because we have a board of directors of men. The reason why we set this up because we have a lot of people that's greedy. You know, you get a lot of people that's greedy, and greed destroys everything.
Yep,
And I
exactly.
remember talking to you a while back, and we was discussing stuff like this. And so that's why I came up with a board of directors of men, a bunch of men. We have rules and regulations that we must follow. Um, and that's why I was like, okay, this is perfect. Something that's fair with a lot of men that's controlling this thing. We have rules. So if things get out of line, we can set the rules in place and enforce them. I think that with just in general will cause organization will cause less confusion
I see
amongst
what you're saying.
the red pill lifestyle within the in the group, and getting brothers to be organized because they're gonna need us. Because once we get this thing up and rolling, um, people are gonna be calling us because all brothers got their numbers to be reached out. Um, be able to reach out to me. We do what we do is what I love about us as brothers because we have a lot of camaraderie. Every brother that's a part of the board of directors is family, man. We family. We love each other, man. If we're going through personal problems, man, we're trying to be there as soon as possible for that next brother, man. That's the camaraderie we have. And you have to have relationships with your brothers like that, man. You have to let them know that you got to uplift your brothers when they down and help them move forward within life, man. We don't have a lot of that. Uh, just as men in general, man, we don't have a lot of that.
Yeah, I think. Well, let's talk about like why do you think there's a lack of camaraderie? We actually spoke about this before, but why do you think there's a lack of overall camaraderie in the United States itself? In the Western world, actually.
Now you're gonna get me preaching now. You're gonna get me preaching, brother. I say it's a lack of camaraderie within America is because the identity of the man was stripped away from him when his father was taken away from him. And when I talk about a father being taken away from him, it comes from not just being taken away from him. It comes from his father's identity being taken away from him. That comes from demasculine men. You know, men don't have no assertiveness when it comes to them. When it comes to them speaking, and that's the number one problem on why men today are shady, cannot hold their word. They stand by nothing.
Hmm.
Back in the old days, men stood by their word. If they told you they was gonna do something, they would do it. They wasn't shady. They wasn't feminized. They wasn't flaky on like females. They didn't have that identity, and it comes from a lack of identity. I think that's the number one reason why I want the red pill lifestyle to be a success for generations to come, even when I'm long dead. And I say that because when you get men to come together, you could be able to build men up, hold men accountable. I always talk to my brothers about this, and they probably mad at me listening to this, but I always talk to them about holding yourself accountable. Always standing by your word. Stand by what you say. If you say you're gonna do something, do it. And if you can't do it, get back with me and let me know that you can't make it. That's what's important for men today. And so we have a lack of camaraderie because men have picked up the tendency of the female. And what is that tendency? You always talk about it, experienced optimist. You talk about it constantly, and it's the shady friend.
Yeah.
Men have picked up the problem of being a shady friend. I'm gonna give you an example. At the job I work at this job. It was a guy I helped him out with some work. He said, "Man, I'll give you some." I'm like, "No." He said, "No, man, I'm gonna give you $5 for just helping me." And the next day, he act like he never said it. It's
Yeah.
like he never said that to me. That's called shady. He's a shady friend. And from that point on, I stopped messing with that guy because I knew what he was. He was shady. A lot of men in Western culture are shady. They're very shady. They can't be trusted.
Yep.
And I can say this. I may get some blowback. It's some brothers that's kind of shady too. You can tell how they move. I
Yeah.
watch people. I watch people. You can tell they passionate. There's a lot of brothers that don't have passion for helping men. They don't have no passion helping men. They shady. They always about monetary gain. They always about themselves. You know,
Yeah.
that's how you can tell a brother that's shady. That's what females do. You know, when you deal with a woman, she becomes shady in a way because she's trying to get, she have an agenda. You know, you don't know the agenda, but that's what shady people do. They hide things. They have personal agendas against you. And that's the biggest issue when it comes to men in today's society. They cannot be trusted. And we're going to change the culture. The red pill man, the MGTOW man is going to change the culture within the world.
Man, I think the red pill lifestyle retreat, I think it's a good idea, man. You know, you know, you know what I would like to see? Man,
What's that, my brother?
I would love to see like you and another dude, man, just head on down to because you haven't been to Dominican Republic yet, right?
No, I haven't been there yet.
Oh man, I think you should just get you and the other dude, man, should just head on down there.
That's what
Now,
we're gonna do once we when we get big enough. We're gonna exactly what you were talking about. We figure we head down there first, and then once we do head down there, start getting brothers. That's what we're gonna kick it off, and you know that's how we're gonna kick it off and launch it. Because I believe once we do our first red pill lifestyle retreat, it's gonna blow it from there.
oh
You
no,
know,
no, I'm just talking about in general. I think you should
yeah,
just head on down there with your buddy just for a vacation, man, just so we can see it. You know?
absolutely. No,
Yeah,
we talk.
I think you probably enjoy it, man.
And you know what? That's a good idea, and I like what you're saying because that's what we plan on doing before we get the brothers to go out there anyway, to actually show them, you know, before we kick it off, and just to show brothers what this is about, and you know, and showing them there's the different cultures around the world, man, and that this is possible for the common man now,
Yeah,
for the
yeah.
common red pill man.
Have you gone to like Costa Rica or any of those places yet?
No, man, that's what I'm excited for, man. I haven't been overseas yet, man.
Oh
That's where
man.
my excitement coming from. Going to be over there with like-minded people, man. I saw what was out there in Dominican Republic. I heard your stories and all these other brothers' stories. It sounds beautiful, man, to be around like-minded. But it's hard to find a red pill men in this society, brother.
Yeah,
It's like trying
it's
to,
extremely difficult.
man, it's like trying to find some. It's like trying to find some in the needle in a haystack. You know, it's dang near impossible, man.
Yeah, that's the thing, man. It's and that's the thing with even with Tailor Made Dreams, to be honest, what he did was he really opened a lot of guys' eyes. Like I said, he helped me out considerably.
Man,
But then, there was some it was weird, man. Some haters descended upon him.
what?
Yeah, there was a stuff like these guys because some people were getting mad because because he was helping people, right? So yeah, so but he helped. I don't know, man. At least I would say 500, if not 1,000 guys.
God, man, that's amazing, brother. That's amazing.
And right now he's taking a break because he's gonna let everything die down and see what's up. He may come back because he ended up his whole point was to retire, and he couldn't let people struggle, man. Like he couldn't let a lot of men struggle, so he decided to go ahead and start this thing, like similar to what you're gonna start. And he said it became like a second job. he was
Golly.
he was working all the time, man. His phone was ringing off the hook. But yeah, the way he helped people, man, it really helped out. So with this red pill lifestyle, what's your goal? Like, where do you see this going? Do you see this reaching like 1,000 members, 2,000 members? Where do you see it going?
I see it reaching 1 million members within 5 years. I believe it's going to change the world. I believe it. I believe it's going to change the world. And that's why I believe that when we get big enough, is to let go of the Patreon. The goal is, as we talked about in the round tables, we talked about having real estate investments because we know that once men start waking up and leaving America, we're gonna have some problems. Me and you know that they're
Yeah,
gonna intervene and start
yeah,
messing up this whole thing, man. And before that happens, we're gonna have to invest in real estate and have our properties where we have money coming in from men around the world. So this never stops. This never stops. We need our own independent avenues as men, so this can never stop. I'm talking about radio stations, and my whole goal is about employing men that's red pill. economic freedom for men around the world that's like-minded. That's the true end goal, where women will have no choice but to respect man in a country where he stays and where there's the laws is for him to be respected. And that's what matters. Because I never forget what a brother told me. He told me he traveled around the world. One of my subscribers, and I asked him about where he was at. I forget what country he told me he was at, man. And I was like, "How was it, man? How was it like, man? Tell me about your experience." He was like, "I'll tell you this. The experience was like this. Women overseas, their nature never changes. Female nature is female nature.
Yeah.
But the best thing about going to the country I was at was women had no choice but to respect me." And he said that was the greatest thing. I will never forget that quote he ever said to me, man, because it was powerful. He told me that female nature never changed, but because of the laws and where he was at, women had no choice but to respect him.
Yeah.
Powerful, brother.
The funny thing about it is when you first start traveling, shout out to MWeOC. I don't know if you've heard about that channel, but that guy talks about it all the time. Is when you initially go overseas, you're probably gonna end up like meeting all these women or whatever. But then over the course of some weeks or months, you'll find out that you start the process of working on yourself. Now, some guys just chase women; that's all they do. But
Right.
eventually, it comes to a point to where you have to look at yourself and find out what really makes you tick and what's your purpose. And that's what I like
Man.
most about traveling overseas. So hopefully the Red Pill Retreat can help men do that, help men accomplish that type of thing. Now, are you going to have certain activities when you go out to this retreat, or are you going to sit around kind of like a powwow type thing? Be
Mo-
walking on fire, that type of stuff? No.
I feel like it's going to be the first retreat. It's going to be kind of a power retreat where brothers probably go to different bars, hang out places, and just really experiencing the culture. And as we grow, we're gonna, because I was telling you about a lot of real estate. I want to have properties. So wherever we go, I want to get big enough where we have properties where we own. I'm talking about houses that we own overseas. I know that the taxes is different overseas. It's not like America. It's terrible in America. You really don't own anything in America when you look at it.
Yeah.
As we know, property taxes that pretty much it's there. And I heard in different countries you don't really have that as much. You don't have it at all in certain countries. So when we own property over there, I want to be able to send men over there where they could go and enjoy a pad, have a place to lay their head. I'm talking about if you want to get away from America, you can actually get away for a long period of time and be able to explore different cultures and maybe retire out there. This is going to be expansive for men around the world.
Yeah, I definitely think that men need to create like a system to where their home base will be outside of America. I think that's key.
Outside,
A
that's key
lot of men
right
are
there.
afraid of it, but like I think that's the way it's going right now. You're gonna almost have no choice but to kind of like if have a coding job or a location independent job where you work outside of America, and then you can come back and forth to America if you want, but you're gonna have to do most of your dealings outside of America just so you don't have to deal with the nonsense that you have to deal with inside of America.
Absolutely. You know what? Because I agree with you 100%, and that's what we was talking about a lot. Was like you said it so perfectly. A home base outside of America, and that's what I was talking about. The real estate investing in like places where I would call safe houses for men, to get away from America, to lay low and go on to investing and pretty much going into retirement wherever they want to go when it comes to being overseas in these different countries. Because I believe in that. I believe that America has no man have no business in America. You have no business here. You disrespected. The food is GMO infested. The air that we breathe, it's a lot of problems and issues with with the vaccines that they're trying to force us to take, and they have these kids taking. You know, we have a lot of problems in America when it comes to the food we eat and the air we breathe over here, man. Nothing is grown naturally. It's just it's a cesspool, man, in America, man. When it comes to women, the environment, man, it's a bad deal for us here.
Yeah, there's I know you know about BGS. BGS has this every once in a while on his channel. There's a social critic, an English guy, and he has a video talking about what's going on in America as far as like the banking system, automation, and things of that nature. And one of his videos, this was a recent video, I remember the guy said, everyone should leave. I think it's the guy's name is Roland Martin. He said, everyone should leave America ASAP. I said, oh, man. I said,
Man,
this guy, you know what I mean, is saying it, you know, the social critic that he is. I was like, yeah, this is probably a good, you know, it's probably a good idea.
come on,
So,
man. And let me say something on that. Let me piggyback on that. I agree with him 100%. Look at the TV shows you watch. All the TV shows that you watch in America that deals with men, men are defeminized. Men are he either homosexual. He's not being a man. He's not assertive. You know, he don't carry no type of leadership role. That's why men in society look at him. Look how they dress. Look how they talk.
yeah.
They weak. They have no masculinity, man. They have no strength to them. They have no leadership, no assertiveness, man. And that's the biggest issue here because of the indoctrinations. And plus, when you have no dad, how can you have masculine traits? That's why a lot of men have feminine traits. He have been feminized by the culture, by the feminized culture.
Yeah,
That's why men are so shady, brother.
yeah. Yeah, that line of demarcation between masculine and feminine, like that article said, it's been blurred. A man is
Man,
where he stands, man. But as far as like this red pill retreat, I think you pretty much covered all the bases. Was there anything else that you wanted to cover as far as the red pill retreat, lifestyle
I'm
retreat?
a, I'm gonna say this in closing, brother. I love all of my brothers, man. I love all of my red pill brothers, man. I love all of my supporters, man. I love y'all to the death of me. This is my passion. You know, we came together with this board of directors to help men around the world. We want to liberate a man in Western culture and the Western society that's affected by feminism. We want liberation for all of those men. And the goal is our first goal is to get 400 Patreons, and our next goal is to get 1,200 Patreons, and it's gonna go up. It's gonna go farther and farther to the. It's gonna go farther and farther until we go to the hemisphere, man, to the atmosphere. We're gonna take this thing to limits that my expectations can't even reach. I believe so, man. And the future of men is for us to change. Nobody else can change the future but us.
Man, well spoken, man. I like that. So cool. I mean, like, so if you don't have anything else, I think that's pretty much it. Now, we definitely want, okay, you definitely want to talk about your other YouTube channel. What was it called again?
Red Pill Lifestyle Channel.
Red Pill Lifestyle and the Patreon. What was the name of that?
Just the Red Pill Lifestyle Patreon. Out
Red
of the
Pill.
Matrix.
Beautiful. Red Pill Lifestyle Patreon. And are there any other links or any other websites that you want to plug?
But that'll be it. Just the Patreon channel for brothers to get out the Matrix, man.
Man, just
Liberation from men.
get out there and support the Red Pill Lifestyle Retreat. Patreon. All right, cool, man. I tell you, when are you gonna put up another video?
Man, I just released it one. Everybody's falling in love with it, man. If nobody ain't seen it, man, the name of the video is Overcoming Red Pill Rage, man.
Yeah, I've been waiting for it. I'm waiting
Yeah.
for a new video too. But anyway, on that note, man, I'm gonna go check out that video, and I guess we'll touch base later.
All right, my brother.
All right, take care, man.
All right.